Have you ever opened Instagram for just 5 minutes and somehow ended up feeling worse about your own life? You see people traveling, buying houses, starting businesses, getting married, living what appears to be a perfect life. And suddenly, your perfectly normal life starts feeling inadequate. For most of human history, people compared themselves to a very small group. Their neighbors, their friends, their family, maybe a few hundred people at most. But today, your brain compares itself to celebrities, millionaires, fitness influencers, travel bloggers, people living completely different lives, and it does this thousands of times every day. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And perhaps that sentence has never been more true than it is today. Because social media allows us to compare our worst moments to someone else's highlight reel. And that's a game nobody can win. Most people think social media companies sell entertainment. But that's not really what they sell. They sell attention. And attention is easier to capture when people feel emotional, envy, fear, curiosity, excitement. Because if you're satisfied with your life, you stop scrolling. And that's bad for business. Naval Ravikant once said, "Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want." Think about that. How many desires in your life are actually yours? And how many were planted there by somebody else's content? Maybe you didn't want the expensive car until you saw somebody else driving it. Maybe you didn't feel behind until somebody else's success appeared on your screen. Comparison doesn't only steal happiness, it steals gratitude. Because when you're constantly looking at what others have, you stop noticing what you already have: your family, your health, your home, your progress, your peace. And ironically, many people spend years chasing a life they don't even want. They're simply trying to impress people they don't even know. As Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Sometimes the stress we feel isn't caused by our actual lives. It's caused by the stories we're telling ourselves. The solution isn't deleting social media forever. The solution is remembering that social media is a tool, not reality. Compare yourself less, appreciate your own timeline, move at your own pace, and remember that someone else's success doesn't take away from yours. Because life isn't a race, it's a journey. And maybe the goal was never to have the most impressive life. Maybe the goal was simply to build a life you genuinely enjoy. At the end of the day, Theodore Roosevelt was right. Comparison is the thief of joy. And perhaps the greatest form of wealth is being content with what you already have.